Hi guys, welcome to my channel. This is Darcy's Mixed Media, and I'm going to play with some envelopes and some paint and some napkin and all the things. Hopefully make sure I'm fairly straight, don't drive people crazy. By people I mean Mariah and people like her that don't like things to be off center. I tease her because I love her. Alright, I love all y'all. I would like to start by saying thank you to all these new subscribers, little foxy friends that came along and subscribed to my channel. Thank you so much for coming. And my foxy friends who are already subscribed, thanks so much for being my friend. I appreciate you guys so much. Now you guys might remember from another crafty haul where I had like, I don't know, was it 300 of these envelopes? I noticed that they have a watermark on them. Kind of like that eagle with the stars kind of watermark. I don't know. So they're, you know, they're good size. They make a nice little page or add-on in a journal. Also, I have other envelopes from my aunt. So I have a lot of envelopes. And if you ever listen to Pam at the Paper Outpost, she did a podcast of use what you have a lot of. So that kind of made me think of envelopes. And then also watching Barbara, 49 Dragonflies, she was kind of doing, you know, just brayering on paint and brayering on paint. And I just really like that look. The problem I had with these envelopes, and where did I put that now? Don't know. I had a piece of paper to put in there. If I do it just like this paint on here, I get the lines from back here on the front. I did not like that. So I made myself a piece of paper to insert in there. I don't think it's still in any of these. And then I immediately misplaced it. But that's okay. And my paper under here is just photo paper because there's not much else I could do with it because it's for a laser printer. So, yeah. So I'm just going to cut another one because why not? Why not? Because, oh, there it is. There's this piece here. So I just need it to be about that wide, give or take. Doesn't have to be perfect. I just didn't like those cross lines going all the way across. That's all right. That's all. So, and believe it or not, this photo paper takes paint pretty well. And then it's not so shiny. But do not ever, PSA, never use photo paper on a gel plate. As Mariah said, it will take chunks out of your plate. I don't. She said it has clay in it or something. So, yeah. Ooh, hey Clint, if you did like a little line, like a little flat spot, like right there, it could be used as a brayer too. Just saying. I mean, I know Shell doesn't watch my videos, but all right. And then I'm cutting it off so that it just fits in the envelope. So when I do the front, I don't get lines. The back, I don't care so much about. But also, when I had, oh, you're going to see a line because I made it a little on the short side, but that's all right. Because before, when I had it up to here, you'd see a line across there. You know, if there's something in there, there's going to be a line. That's just the way it is. Some things will never change. Don't you believe it? Okay, just take my, I didn't use this one yet. This is just probably one of the cheapest sprayers you can get. I actually really like this one, which right now has a lot of texture on it because I got some tissue on it. And instead of cleaning it off like you should, I left it on there, which is actually perfect for this. And then this is the Tim Holtz one, which I'm a little heavy-handed with. So sometimes, because you're supposed to be able to take it off like this, but sometimes these things come out because I get a little heavy-handed with it. I'm rough with my brayers. But it has nice little feet, which is nice. You know, that's enough. So a brayer. You can get a cheap brayer. I'll try all my brayers just so you can see what it looks like. And then I had some inks out because I was also adding some stamping and whatnot to them at some point. But let's start with just, I've been starting with the darkest color first. So like say I want to do a brown one. A lot of Barbers were brown. Don't need a lot. Let's see how this one does. So, and then I gotta keep track of colors I use for the other side, if I want the other side to be similar colors. Do a little bit of wine. Just put it up there, and that way I can just kind of, once I get the brayer on it. Now, if I add white to this, it's gonna turn a little bit pinkish, not be quite as red. Let's see. Oh, I can add some linen. I'll just keep using some cheapy craft paints because I want you to see that you can. I don't have too much stuff on my desk. What makes you think that? Make sure I'm in. So this one's more of a tan. And well, I might do a little bit more brown. And this was basically, you know, what Barbara seemed to be doing. She just kept adding more paint. And then, you know, she'd add more paint, she'd add more paint, and then she'd add more paint. She just kind of put it on there. And the nice thing about the brayer is it doesn't cover it completely, so you still see other color coming through. And sometimes it's a little darker, sometimes it's lighter. Maybe you want a little more dark to come through, so you just add some more of that. And maybe you want to see, so now that brown goes down in the divots there. In the divots, I don't know, the thicker you get the paint, the more, and the more layers you do, the more old wall look you're gonna get, which, you know, is what we're going for. A little bit of antique white again. This is not my favorite brayer. I mean, it was free, so I'm not complaining. So I'm just gonna get some of this off back here. Oh, and the other thing about using this photo paper is that it doesn't seem to be sticking too bad, which is nice. Should I do like just a tiny bit? It's really hard to get just a ton. It's more than I wanted. See, I just want a tiny bit. Tiniest bit. But now it looks murdery. So, might not have been the best. So if I want to bring back some more red, what I would probably do instead is use a stamp with some red ink. Because if I get little blops of red on the top, it's just going to look a little murdery. That's all. But that's alright. Some people like a little murdery. You're doing something for Edgar Allan Poe journal, you want a little murdery. Alright, I want a little bit more lightness. Oh, I'm going to use a little bit of matte white. And then oh, if I can open it. I only want like the tiniest bit. That's not really possible. I'll just pour some in there. There we go. Because I'll use it again. Now I can move it off my desk. Got more than enough to play with there. There, I do. Just... That's probably more than I want. Okay. Just want to bring a little bit of brightness. Make it not quite so dark. Maybe. I don't know. Just add in layers. That's what you do. What do you think? Add a little bit of, I don't know. I don't want to lose this stuff under here as part of it. See, I like my soft brayer the best. Do some of that. Alright, now let's do the back. I don't even wait for it to dry before I do the back. I just go ahead and... trying to get... I know I didn't do it in this order, but it shouldn't matter too much. So I just do the same colors on the back. You don't have to. You could do just coordinating colors. You don't have to do the exact same colors. I used some of this, right? The linen. Yes, I did. I used some linen. I know I did. I know. A little more brown. You could do this on a gel plate if you wanted to. The hard part with doing an envelope on a gel plate is when one side gets wet, I don't know, weird stuff sometimes happens when you're trying to do it on a gel plate. Although you could use a gel plate for your palette if you wanted to, which would give you, you know, less of these splotchy bits possibly. But just rolling it out, and it gets interest. Every layer adds a little bit more interest. Ooh, and if you're not careful, you get your paper stuck up in your brayer and you rip it. These have been doing this anyway, so I'll glue that later. So there is that one. Not my most favorite one, but see, I'm gonna add some stamping, maybe some stenciling, maybe some napkin. Who knows what? Maybe some, I don't know. We're gonna add stuff. So let's do another one. I wish I could ask you what color you'd like to see. I haven't done a blue one yet. Well, I mean, I've done the blue and green one, but I haven't done like I haven't done this. Oh, leave that up. I haven't done like this kind of blue yet. That might make for a nice background. Let's move that out of the line of vision. That's probably annoying, isn't it? I'm just not noticing it so much. Oh, see, we can still do brown and blue is a nice combo. Especially when it's kind of like a retro blue. Maybe some of that linen. Don't you love when you're doing a video and your paints make gross noises? That's just great. So yeah, when I'm videoing this, it is National Donut Day. We went to get our donuts, and they were out. Well, yeah, I told them in the last video I got the last 3 donuts. That's right. Trying to brag about my last 3 donuts, apparently, is what I'm doing. Because the girl there is really sweet and nice. And so, yeah. But my husband will still get his free donut next week. I actually had ordered an apple fritter, hoping everybody was ordering donuts. And so maybe they wouldn't eat up all the apple fritters before noon like normal. But no. Still, it was nothing. No apple fritters. Yep, got a little heavy-handed there, but we got layers. We got some brown and blue showing through. We'll add a little more blue again. It's probably best if you don't do more than 2 or 3 dominant colors, like of the blue and the brown. So blue and brown and cream, that's 3 colors, you know. But if I wanted to, I could come in with this Italian sage and change things up a little bit. And just give it a little bit of something else. And, you know. See, I told you, I'm heavy-handed with my brayers. Let me add a little bit more brown. See, now we have a little bit of green there. And it didn't look like Barbara was letting anything dry in between. It looked like she was just going for it. Okay. She wasn't doing that, but she had mixed media paper, so that made a difference. Some paint's coming off my brayer. That's okay. Just get it up there. So we got some good stuff going on here, I think. What do you think? A little bit old wall. I think I want a little bit more of this sage. Not too much more. Sometimes you can't control it really easily, and you want to. So some green, blue, and brown. I don't count cream as a color. I probably shouldn't count brown as a color, but I kind of do. Alright, let's try the other side. We started with the blue. So these are fun for putting in your journals, or if you have some Happy Mail you want to send, they might be fun with that too. Definitely want to use the you know, the Mod Podge to seal it if you're gonna put it in the mail. That's all. If I just push instead of coming back with this top part of the envelope, I will do a little bit better. Do better, Darcy, do better. So yeah, this is, I know I play with a gel plate a lot, and some people are afraid to get a gel plate. If you already have the paints, it's not a huge expense. You can get a 5x7 for about $14. But then again, $14 is different for everybody, you know. Also, look for them to be on sale at Joann's and use your 40 or 50% coupon. Like, I had to replace my, whatchamacallit today, my heat gun. I used my 50% off coupon, so I got that for $10. That's something I use a lot, so I kind of had to replace it. I mean, I was trying to dry these earlier, and I'm like, how old is this paper? This is some weird smells I'm getting. And then my husband's like, something's burning. I'm like, it's not the paper, is it? It's the actual heat gun that was causing issues. Is this, was I, yeah, they're both antique white. Whoops, there we go. Just, doesn't matter which direction you go. Nothing really matters. As long as you like what you come out with. Oh, that's right. We did a little bit of the sage too, didn't we? Forgot to add a little sage on the back. A lot of banging. Sorry if you don't like banging and this is bothering you. I apologize. Oh, I mentioned the Foxy Friends earlier. That's because I was one of the features in the Foxy Rag this month. And this was also the first month that it was free. You have to be signed up for the newsletter to get it. It's already come out. So if you didn't get this one and you want to get the one in September, make sure that you sign up for Tracy's newsletter. There are a limited number because they have to pay for that host to send out the newsletters and stuff. So, you know, they topped it out at what they knew they could afford. And also, if you got the Foxy Rag for free, if you are able to, go buy something from Tracy Fox's store, Love Junk Journals. Or you can go buy her, I think she's on KOFI now. Instead of Buy Me a Coffee, she's on the KOFI site. I don't know. But, and she's got a coupon too. So, if you got the Foxy Rag, you got the coupon. Or if you have the newsletter, then you know the coupon code to get 20% off. Although I didn't realize I needed the coupon code and I bought 2 things without it, but that's okay. She's got some really nice digitals, so. Alright, so got some old wall stuff going on here. This one's pretty much dry. I need some touching up. That white is bugging me. Let's do a little bit of linen. I just don't want it to squirt out too much. There we go. Maybe that's a little bit better. Once I add stenciling and see, I like this one a little bit better. It's just a little bit smoother. What if I do a little bit? I don't. Sage green might be okay because it's not a red. Don't want it to look Christmassy. Now it's too much. Alright, let's do, see, sometimes the best laid Oh, that's way too much. Oh my word, what is wrong with me? You just make it work. No one's perfect. Especially not me. Although this might make a cool place for like a focal point to go. So it's not the end of the world. It's really, truly not. Oh, way too much. Alright, you know what? Let's pull that off of there. Do that. Alright, we do have more interest now though, because we got some green back there, and the brown, and the burgundy. I don't have as much green on here. Do I want as much green? The back does not have to be exactly the same as the front. Also, it's light enough so that if I put a napkin on there, the napkin will still, the pictures will still show. Alright. I'm going to make a few more and dry these, and then I will come back for the next step. Okay, I'm on to the next step. I've got a whole bunch that I've just painted. They are a mess. They look messy, but in the end, you know, the hope is that they come out looking pretty. So, like, I try to pick a color that is on the envelope already. So this got this kind of reddish brown. So I used sepia, and I used this stamp and this stamp on this, and then I'll also do some script in this. It's practically black. It's timber brown, but it's practically black. So I'm gonna do some script. I've got this. I think it's newspaper. Got it at Hobby Lobby. Took it off. Hold on, I'm gonna do it this way. I took it off. I think it came on a block, and I took it off the block because that's what I do. Then I'm not pressing it down all the way. I'm just kind of pressing it down in different spots, just so that I get some words here and there, random words, and I'm not worried about which direction the words go. So then I get just little bits of the script, typewritten, whatever it is, just every which way, which this goes every which way. So that's all good and fine. Let's go ahead and do it here too. Got some of it here and there. Probably need to re-ink it. Sometimes I will just use the same 3 or 4 stamps on everything. You know, for a mask make, that's the easiest thing to do. And then next time, I can choose something else, right? No big deal. So that's got a little bit more because I pressed down more with my hand. I'm going to get some in the middle here. There we go. So, you know, one thing you could do, you could just go through, and now there's not as much ink on there, so I'm just kind of covering the whole thing. So you kind of get it here and there. I don't like to cover, I mean, it's not a bad look. You can totally use this stamp. Cover the whole thing if you want to. But I like more of a hit and miss kind of a deal, because I want other stamps to show up. You know what I mean? And I like this timber because it's not exactly black, but it's dark enough to be like black without being in your face black, you know? See, just a little bit here and there. Press down a little bit more. Try not to move it, because then you end up like with what I just ended up with, which is a little bit. This one I didn't even get as much paint on. That's envelope showing up behind there. I didn't quite finish this one, but it could still. Just kind of wanted to show you too that you don't have to have a lot of paint. You could just do hit and miss with some paint. Alright, so put that one away. This is another one I really like. This one I would probably choose a paint color like that's in here. This has got the brown. I think this is Ground Espresso. It's in a coffee one, but I put the re-inker for Ground Espresso in there. Oh boy. Oh shoot. This is one of my good shirts. I went out to get that donut earlier, and I changed my shirt like a good girl, and then forgot to change my shirt when I came back. Alright, so, oops, this one I do kind of the same thing. I just kind of line it up, press here and there, so I get just little lines here and there. If you want it on the tip, then I just do that. I just try to keep it straight. That's all I really care about, is that it's fairly straight. So there's just hints of line. It's almost like, well, maybe there was lines under the paint, and the paint, you know, the lines are showing through the paint is what we're kind of going for. We're not going for lines everywhere. We're going for some interest. That's all. So I have less ink on there, so I can go ahead and do that, and it's still going to just be here and there. Not everywhere. Now, because I don't have as much paint on this, I'm more likely to use a stencil. Let me see. Do I have a stencil? Alright. I didn't love how this one was doing on the other one. I wasn't showing as much. But let's go ahead and try this grid. This. Well, now the sticker's not on there. It was. That's why I have to save the envelopes, I guess. Alright, I'm going to go this way. I've got a little bit of green here. Where did I put my, here it is. So I think I want to get a little bit of fern green on here maybe. So green, where's my green? No, guess what, the green one's disappeared. That's alright, I could use a bigger brush anyway. I can always wash it later. So I'm just gonna, I'm not even going over the whole thing, but I want to add some color. So now there's some green on there. Just kind of want to line it up a little bit, right? Where there's a lot of white, that's kind of where I'm trying to hit it the most with the green. Just so there's not so much white. Nothing wrong with white. You can have white on there, it's all good. And then this just has it has some lines on it and the letters. So what I might do is take like a bigger stamp. Like, I got this alphabet one, but I also have these Tim Holtz ones. So I might just take a couple of these and go ahead and just stamp on here. I might not stamp the whole thing. I might just get like a little bit of script here and there. Just for a little bit of interest. Normally for a script stamp I would use a darker color, but I wanted to get a little bit more of this green on here. You know what I'm saying? And maybe this one. Which way does this go? The numbers, it goes this way. Oh, this is good. It still has pictures on there. Not all mine have pictures anymore. Then I had another one, a little one. Received. There's no right or wrong way to do it. You do it however you want. So now we have some more stamping on there. And now we've got green and brown. So we've kind of defined it a little bit more with the color. Peacock feathers. Peacock feather color. Now what would you do for a script on here? Because it's a really light color. So I don't want to go like overboard with script. But yeah, I do like the peacock feathers with the green and the yellow. Yep, that's nice. That's what I'm thinking about for script. I think I'm going to do the other script. Where's the other script? I had it all out here when I started, you know. Well, we'll just use some of our Tim Holtz pieces and make up our own scripty business. Let's see. We've got some script on that. We got some script on that. There's some letters on that, numbers on that, more numbers. Because what I'm thinking is, oh, I was thinking of using, oh, I think I have it small too, but I've got watering can, which is a nice gray, so that you're not getting an overwhelming amount of black with your script, but you're still getting you know, it's still showing up. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just kind of using that little scripty bit that's in the middle, because I don't know what I did with my other one. Let's see. Let's go ahead and get this scripty one too. Get some of the green off. It's not terrible if some green gets on there. Just kind of. I'm just going to cross it too. Like Tim Holtz has this script stamp, and he has them going every which way. And I thought, well, I don't have to buy that stamp. I got enough script stamps. I can make stuff go every which way, right? And go ahead and put this in a couple of places. I don't like to have the same words exactly everywhere though. That's okay, because now we have some numbers, and maybe up there, and over here, but maybe also over there. And there's another number. Little numbers. I picked little numbers this time. Oh, and sometimes I don't get the number because I'm not pressing all the way down. Ah! There we go. Got some numbers on there. Got some scriptiness. But now I'll find my my other script stamp, right? Well, you never know. Your napkin or whatever you're going to use might have some script on it already. Oh, got these fun things. Go ahead and take this off, and oops, put this the right way, and maybe a little bit more. These are doodles. I think they're from, these ones are the Tim Holtz ones, I believe. You know, it would help if I put it on the edge of this, then I could tell where the edge is, because, you know, my thing's a mess. Now I could go ahead and do like a little border, which I might do. If I had a mask for this, then I could have it be, you know, a little bit more. Or what I also sometimes will do is just do that. There we go. That kind of worked. I don't want a whole border though, but I am going to put some. Oh, we got naked. Well, it's not naked, but you know. Oh, people are doing yard work. Yay. Don't we love that? There we go. Just got some. Now, if you don't have this stamp, you can just doodle. It's just little little rainbows stacked on top of each other, basically. And you can see I'm not trying to be perfect with it. I mean, it's not gonna show that much if I put a napkin over it anyway, so I'm not bothered. Everything's good in the neighborhood. And I could even just kind of get some hints of it here and there. Just kind of press it in the middle so I don't get any definitive sharp lines. So that's kind of a fun thing to do. Alright, so this one has a good amount of stuff on it. I don't feel the need to add a whole bunch more to that as far as script and whatnot. But you do what makes you happy. Do I want that one? Which one do I want? This one has blue and brown. I know it would be nice if I could find that script stamp that I have up here all the time. Let's see. I thought I got it out. It's usually right back here, but no. Of course, it's not what I want it. It's probably, or it's under here. Who knows? But anyway, use the stamps you have. You don't need to go out and buy special stamps to do your stamping or stenciling. In fact, you could even just take the outside bit from your turkey and use that to get a little bit of let's see if I can do that or not. What color did I use on this? Don't know. Let's try some of this, and we'll just do a little bit. Shows there. It's a little bit easier with the other one. Hold on, I'll do this. I did it once. Now I need to do it a couple of places, right? I don't have to do it on the back though. That one wasn't as easy. That might be fine on the gel plate. Where's the other one? Oh, this one I got off of something. I don't remember what. Oh, this was off the back of some tiles. That's what this one was. I can never remember where I got it. So, like, say I want to add some dark burgundy here without making it look bloody. You can just add a little bit. Let's see, what color do I want? How red do I want it? Hey, where's my I mean, I have pretty much every color, so aged mahogany. Yeah, that's what I want. I had forgotten where I got this off of, but yeah, I got it off of the back of some ceramic tiles. And, you know, just a little bit of this here and there. We'll add a little bit of red. See, it didn't even, just look for stuff for everything, not just for gel plating. If you don't have a gel plate, you're thinking, well, I don't need to look for different textures. But you don't have to have a gel plate to want to make textures. You can just paint. You don't need a lot of paint either. Get like 3 or 4 basic colors that you really like, or if you like the old wall look, get like a nice burnt umber kind of brown, like a dark brown, and maybe like a tan and a cream. You can do a lot with just those 3 colors, and a brayer. If you can find a brayer, it's even better. So now I've made some red pop here and there. Such fun, such fun. Now let's go out. I don't necessarily want to do that. I want some script, but I want none of my, you know that none of my stamps are where they're supposed to be, right? Because one of these boxes would normally, oh, maybe this, no, I don't know. Let's see. Maybe. Alright, I might use that just as a script stamp and not try to get all the words out. Ooh, there's another word I could use as a script stamp. Ooh, here's another number. And here's another one that has words on it. So I could either, and there's another one. So I could use them as actual words, or I could use them where you can't read all the words really clearly. And just go ahead and words are hard. Go ahead and use them as a scripty stamp, just not pressing them down clearly so you can't see the words. Now that this is like an ad, so that's not a big deal. Where did my, just had it. There it is. A stays on. I like to use that. This one, just because, like I said, it's just a really nice dark brown. Put it in a few places because I'm going to use another one too. So I think you get the picture with the just using some scripty script. Yeah, I'm putting that upside down. That's nice. We'll do a couple sideways and upside right. That might be nice. Put it even right next to the other one. No one. Oh, now it's upside down again. It's all right. Then they're not focusing. Oh, who is it? Somebody likes to use things upside down so that people. So you're not focusing on the letters with the background. It's a background. You know, you're keeping it as kind of a background. This one you can't really read anyway. And you can go across other letters if you want to. I mean, Tim Holtz does it, so I can too if I want to, right? If I want to, I can do it. If I want to, I can do what I want. It's my art, my stuff. I like that. Even though you can't, when you get this clear, it's not clear. It's never clear. Just never, ever, ever clear. Hey, oops, oh, you know what? I went at an angle. We're going to do that. Just getting a portion of the words. Can't tell what it says. That's all right. If something happens by accident, just do it more times to make it look intentional. No big deal. Let's see. You know what? I might, where is it? Now this one might be a little bit dark for putting a napkin on. I'm not sure. It's going to depend on the napkin, I suppose. I suppose it will depend on the napkin. This is definitely a grungy one though. Grungy, grungy, grungy. Yep, it's a mess. Let's see, what do we have? Now, I could put this over it, which will lighten it up a lot. It's tissue paper. It's going to make everything disappear. We want something probably with a white background. Let's see. What might work on here? No, well, no, that's not quite right. Let's see. Got a bunch of napkins I pulled out earlier. Watch none of. And I think I'll do a little bit of pattern paper on here, just for a little bit of grunge, I think, since this one's kind of grungy. I don't necessarily want to be able to tell what it is though. Just a little bit of that, and then I'll do more later. But let's see what this looks like with the decoupage. Oh, you know what I should do? I'll do it on another one. Yep, I have no place to put anything. And with red ink, it really, this red ink that I have is, shoot, I don't want to turn my stuff pink. It's the distress ink, so the water is going to affect it. Anything wet is going to affect it. So there's that. That was on me. If you're going to do wet stuff, you want to make sure that you don't use distress inks. You want to use permanent stuff like the archival inks and the stays on and stuff like that are permanent. Alright, I just kind of want to feather that out because I don't want to go up into the red again and make more mess. Now I can come back and do that pattern again on there if I want. So I'm going to let that dry. I know I only did it in one place. Whatever. Where's another envelope that's ready to be napkined? This one. Do we have something for this? I don't know. I just want to use that one on everything, don't I? had all these napkins. Why do I have no napkins that work for what I'm doing? That's what I want to know. See, this is kind of tropical feel, but I didn't pull out any of my tropical stuff. You know that? I did not. But I could just put some butterflies on. That could be fun too. Alright, I'm just ripping it. You could take your water pen and whatnot. I put my thumbs really close to each other. It does help if you don't have paint all over your hands. Let's see. That does have a pink flower on it. Or I just kind of let it rip. Let it rip. It's got some other colors and it's got some brightness to brighten it up. So, and I don't want a straight edge on this side. And I'm not going for perfection. I'm just going for I'm going for using up some napkins. Oh, guess what? This stamp I used on the edge also had distress ink. That's on me. And if you don't want to get glue in your stuff, don't glue in your stuff. Famous words spoken by, well, I think, did Tara Jacobson, or did she get it from one of the ranger people? I don't know. I've only ever heard Tara Jacobson say it, so I always refer to her when I say, if you don't want to get glue in your stuff, don't glue in your stuff. And then she proceeds to glue on her stuff, kind of like I sometimes do. Yep, I'm using way too much glue. Or Mod Podge is what I'm using. And I'm not making sure it's straight. You can make sure yours is straight. You are free to make yours as close to awesome as you want. Sometimes I'm a little more precise. But also, this is why I like to do grunge and stuff, because then I don't have to stress about it. Just don't want to be too heavy-handed with the napkin, or you'll rip the napkin. So that adds a nice pop of color on there. If you were going to put it in the mail, you might want to Mod Podge the whole envelope. But if you're just going to put it in your journal, you don't really need to. So there we go. So you can take pieces of your napkin, you can put a whole napkin over it. You can use stencils, stamps. I used acrylic paint. You could use inks. I've done that where I just, smush. I think I have actually a video on that. I should find it. And where I do kind of a similar thing. But I don't know. I really was inspired by Barbara. Or you could just do bigger stamps. We have all these stamps. Let's use our stamps. We don't have to go out and buy a million things. And it'll just be really cute in a journal, in a signature like this, or on the side of a page, which I would show you if I had a piece of paper here. Let's see, what's this? Okay, we're going to pretend this is a page in a book. Let's see, let's just pretend this is like a journal. So you could make it part of the journal. I should use one of these that's not all wet. So you can make it a page in the journal like that, or you can make it a flip to the side, or if it wasn't as wide as this, you could flip up or down, but since it's wide like that, you more likely want to do that. So I will work on these some more, and I should hopefully have them to show you right after this. After these messages, we'll be right back. Alright, I've got a couple of tips and tricks, sorta. Now, I want to put this rooster on here, but I'm afraid he's going to become a blue rooster. So I'm going to take a little bit of cream or white paint and try to put it pretty much where the rooster is going to be, which is hard to gauge, but It doesn't have to be perfect. So we kind of have right around here. And it doesn't have to be really thick either. Just, and it can have, you can, you know, kind of fade out your edges. So, got his tail. And then I'm just gonna, and then see how we do. All right, so I've got the rooster and then some. So I'm just gonna use my finger or brush or whatever you want to use just to kind of fluff out the edges so it's a little bit more organic, not big. Ruin your brush like I do. Yep, that's fun. A little dry brush around the edges, just lighten it up. And if you get it too light, you can always come back in at least around the edges. If like see, this already has script on it, so I could take like this with my faded jeans, and then I could get the paint that I just put over here all over my fingers, because that's super fun, and my stamp and everything. And then just kind of come in around the edges a little bit, because I don't mind if a little bit of this shows behind everything, but I think it'll sort of blend the edges around a little bit. And then I think I also want to put this on the back too, maybe on the edges and on the top here. And that way, bringing that design element, you know, it's subtle, you can't see it a lot, but it's there. So, oh, and I was doing some of my envelopes I did this way, so that when they're in a journal, they'll make sense. They'll make a little bit more sense. I've been a little heavy-handed with my what is this called? Oh my goodness. Mod Podge. I've been a little heavy-handed on that, but I figured out what to do to take care of that too. All right. And then when I'm doing this, I've been just kind of doing the whole thing too, which is also, and I've been really heavy-handed on it. I'm trying not to be as heavy-handed, but I want full coverage, but I don't need it to last through a million years. You would think, by the way I've been, and I've just kind of been doing the whole thing just so that the whole front of the envelope has the same kind of a, I'm just kind of blending it up into the top. Oh, actually, I am going to the top with this one, aren't I? Yep, I know, I'm using way too much. Okay, so now my fingers are sticky, and that's not good, because I'm going to go put this on here and then try to touch it, and I'm going to pull up some of the, so I'm going to try not to touch it. Right, getting right to the edge. I've seen some people use plastic. Just make sure you don't have any sticky on your plastic when you do that, because you will get glue on it every time. So for me, it's a new day. How are you guys doing? I hope everybody's doing fine. It's taken me a couple days to get these where I want them. But as soon as I finish with this and showing you the other tip, I will, actually I could just come back and do this, couldn't I? I figure blue's good for a chicken journal, or a barn journal, or whichever it happens to be. Farmer's market. The rooster going to market? Poor rooster. Unless he's loud and wakes me up in the morning, and then I'll eat him. If you're a vegetarian, sorry. If you ever had to like get woken up every morning by a rooster before you're ready. See? So now he pops. He shows up really well. Where if I had put him right on the blue, probably not so much. And then the edge here, I'll probably use my this to just scrape off. So that's one thing I've been doing is if I have some edges to get off, I just use that. Oh, let me put the cover on this before I forget. Don't need to mess with that. And then because I've been a little heavy-handed with my Mod Podge, I've been coming back in. I'm a little more heavy-handed with the file. Oh my goodness. On the parts that don't have a picture. So I've just kind of been pressing hard there. And that takes off a lot of the sticky, some of the added texture I don't necessarily want. Sometimes I'll come along the edge and just make it not perfectly straight. You have to make sure that everything is dry before you do this. Otherwise you'll just rip it apart more than you want. So if you like a grunge look, you can just I kind of usually push away when I do that. But then I also kind of probably come back in at an angle, make sure I get all that off. And then like on the main part, the birds and the nest and whatnot, I just do a lot lighter. Because this is more of a buffer. It's not really, it's sort of a nail file, but it's also kind of a buffer. I don't know. It does have a little grit to it. I'm not pressing real hard. But now it's not as sticky. It's not as tacky. And, you know, I've just kind of taken off that top layer of the obsessive amount of Mod Podge that I put on. The excessive is what I mean. The excessive amounts. Because, yeah, I put way too much. There's not any on the back. So I haven't, this one I haven't, yeah, because I just did it. And then I've been inking the edges on most of them. So I'll show you what I've got. This one is just grungy. When I'm ready to put it into a journal, I can add a focal point or whatever. I didn't put napkins on all of them because there's only so much decoupaging you can do in a day before you're like, nope, I'm done. I was actually pretty surprised that the blue showed up so well. And I still have, so yeah, they're shiny, even though it's the matte Mod Podge. They're a little on the shiny side, but they feel kind of cool, especially after I sand it down a little bit. But I was really pleased that that blue still showed up on the blue. This is the one that you guys saw in my crafty haul video. I should show you the backs too. I went right around the edge with the napkin on that one. That one, gotta show the back of these. Just grungy. And then this is one of my favorites. He's just so cute. And I love the greens I got on here. I don't know exactly what colors I used. To get this effect right here, I put the paint on the side and put my brayer all the way, got my brayer all the way wet, and then just kind of went lightly over it. And that's how I got that effect. I know I should probably do a video on that. And then I did off-white paint under here so they would show up more, because I wanted them to be the focal point. That back of that one is just that. This is another one I did. This is, could still probably use, I could still put like a butterfly or a bird or something on there if I wanted to. Now, I used the texture paste on this one. When you go to put your words on, check to see where the envelope is. I mean, it doesn't matter so much because, you know, doing it in a journal, it's going to be on its side probably anyway. So really, it would have been better for me to do it that way, but that's okay. Because I didn't do it just once. I did it twice. So I got a couple upside down. And if I were mailing these, I would put the label, like I would, you know, but because usually when I'm mailing stuff, it's for Etsy, so I have the big white labels. So I've been putting my big labels on the back, so I can decorate the fronts of envelopes if I want to. And I think this one we did last together earlier in the video. And I added a label. And this one, I just needed to tone it down. So I just added some pattern paper for now. Something else will get done to it later. I like this side better. This side got a little, it's champagne color. I'm not crazy about it. Somebody else said they loved it, but I don't love it. So if I kept the napkin together, his head would be way up here. So I tore him out, and I tore him out, or her, which is which. And then put them on separate but together. And then there's the back of that. I love what happens here where the brown shows through. And then there's this one. It's a napkin that I've got. This was the one that was just kind of mostly, you can see a lot of the plain envelope behind it. This one just has a little bit of stamping on it, but you can see also where I get that effect by getting the brayer totally wet. And let's see. Ooh. And if you have bottles like this and you're doing envelopes, that's a good way to dry them. Just saying. So I haven't inked these ones yet. They're off to the side. Everything's taking forever to dry. But I thought that one... I originally had put a stamp on here that didn't work out, so I put some white paint, then some stamping over the white paint so it wouldn't be so white, and then put the napkin over that. This one, I like the brown and black. I still need to sand that and edge it and whatnot. And here's another brown and black, brown and blue one with the lobster. Still need to sand my edges. You know, which just kind of go like this and then pull it off. Sometimes I need new ones of these. They're kind of don't have as much of a, because some people don't like that noise, so they've already turned this off. So there's that one, and then there's this one, which is a napkin somebody gave me. Put on there. And are there any more? Good question. Because they're everywhere. I think the chicken is the last one that I made. So yeah, I kind of did a bit of a mass make. So once he's dry, I'll sand him down too. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope that you will try something like it. Like I said, the painty papers on the back were inspired by 49 Dragonflies with Barbara. So you can go check her out. It was her art festival retreat, and she was making her background pages for the for when she was going to the museum. I hope you guys all have a delightful day. Love you.